Okay, so this is the predictions, yeah? So this is top 8, just top 8. And you get skins off of this. So we gotta get at least gold to get the exclusive skin. Getting gold should be at 7 points out of 15. So let's make it very easy for ourselves. Where is PSG? And then we're gonna gatekeep Fabian and not put Fabian on here. No? Let me get a different picture actually. Rio Liquipedia. I think it's kind of hard to understand which teams are kind of in this without looking at the Wikipedia. This is probably easier, right? So these are 20 pilot teams. We need top 8, right? Top 8. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think. So for starters, very simple. Where the freak is FaZe? FaZe is an easy one. Falcons. This is old BDS. This is Shaiko team. Liquefac, okay? New BDS is like a mixed team of European players. So whenever we say Falcons, we're talking the European / former BDS, not the MENA team that is now Twisted Minds, who failed to make Pro League for CL. Kind of got slapped by tier 2, tier 3 teams in EU. I have a very hot place for DarkZero. I think they have so much potential with the new roster as well. I think all rosters are announced now, right? Yeah, it's all in here. Citizen Spirits. They have a shield player, something that DarkZero could never really play before. They had Canadian, who was like a pretty bad multiplayer, into Spirits, like one of the best shield players in the world, probably the best splits player in the world. Duo of Citizen Nave and a new vision. And Bolo was a great player, but Bolo was also like, he was becoming a father. He's a streamer. He's probably a bit more busy with other things than just fully committing to pro play. So I could really see the grind begin for these guys now that there's nothing holding them back. A little bit sad that Shopify isn't here, because Shopify is like one of my new favorite teams to watch after seeing them in Boston. They were playing Sense, they were being more innovative, they were playing fast when they saw openings, they were playing slow for executes when they didn't. It was a very well-rounded team. It felt like an old DarkZero combined with like the newer kind of fragging capabilities and fast pace style. Whereas DarkZero with Canadian always slow, Sonics were fast and they were slow, and I love seeing that. M80, I think this is a no-brainer. They picked up Gavin and they got hot and cold and they got Fabian. Gavin is a bit of a hot and cold player. Either he pops off or he doesn't, but I think in this environment, I think he could fit. The only thing for M80 I see is like lack of experience and trolling, because they have some young players, right? But then you have Fabian as a coach. And that's where Fabian can really shine at molding players and getting them disciplined. When he joined PSG Talent, you saw within the first month, PSG were holding crossfires. It was a much better team. And within 1 month of coaching PSG Talent, they became a bottom 4 Korean team to literally the best team in Korea. So if Fabian can do that for them, I think he can really elevate the weaknesses of M80's players, while still, of course, improving their strengths. And really see M80 be a contender for, I think top 4 this event would not be out of, I've rated them over G2, for example. I generally think M80's ceiling is incredibly high, even though they've only been together for a short while. Also, spoiler, Fabian got announced, I think last month. He's been with them since SI. Fabian has been with M80 pretty much full time right after SI in February. So he's been there all of March, all of April, and now we're in May. With one asterisk, he did go on his honeymoon where he was gone for like, I think 2 weeks, where he was not with the team at all. So Kino technically is experienced, but Kino is a prankster, dude. Kino is a prankster. Kino is the biggest troll. So like, while Kino has experience, he's never gonna say, Gunnar, let's not take that peek. That's funny. Let's play serious. Like, Kino wouldn't say that. Honeycomb might, but Kino would, I think, be a part of the troll stack, not being against it, you know? What else do we have? We're halfway. Furia, guaranteed top 8. I mean, I think that's a given. Even though Furia is not the team that they once were and they struggle with the shield meta, I think Brazilian teams in general are gonna have a slight advantage for this event. I think they're better at utilizing operator bans historically, and with the new operator ban system, I could see Brazil being a little bit more prepared than other teams to like do target bans on that 3rd round. The way that the new ban phase goes for CJX is you're gonna have attackers, they will ban 2 defenders. And then on the other side, defenders, they will ban 2 attackers, right? Then you play 3 rounds. Then you ban 1 more defender as an attacking team, and you ban 1 more attacker as a defending team. So you have 3 bans, 6 rounds, you reset, you go again. You're gonna have your 2 default basic pitch bans or whatever. Then you'll play the rounds and have prep work, and you'll do like the special specific target ban, and then rinse repeat. And the way that Brazil plays the game, and how often they play the game, and how they scrim, because apparently Brazilian scrim schedule is very different. They do what's called a 2-2-2 system. So they play 2 maps, 2 maps, 2 maps, so 6 maps, almost no breaks, and it'll be 1 team, 2 team, 3 team. Whereas the way that we do it in Europe is we do 3 maps, 1 team, break, 3 maps, 1 team, or a team 2 technically. or you do a 5 mapper, 1 team. So in Brazil, they get much bigger variety of playstyles because they scrim more teams on a daily basis. It's not every round, no, that's for ranked. In pro play, when there's 6 rounds, you play 3 rounds, 2 bans, 3 rounds, 1 ban, 3 rounds, reset. And they're playing a new build, yeah. Basically, you ban 2 operators immediately, you'll play 3 rounds and ban 1 operator, you play 3 more rounds, and then you go side swap and you start over. That's how pro play operator ban works. So you have 3 rounds to see what the enemy is doing and what you want to ban to go up against in the future. That's how it goes. Furia, again, Brazil favored. Did Liquid announce their lineup? Who's playing for Liquid? I don't actually know. Oh, they did. Oh, is it DS Lucas? Oh, I saw the rumor. I didn't know it was confirmed. DS Lucas, Ask, Maya, Resets, Nesk. I don't know if I rate this lineup very highly. I don't actually know if I rate this. I fucking love Maya. I think the guy's great. I love Nesk. The guy can be great. But I don't know about this as a squad. I think it's going to be a more fast-paced Liquid, which is very different from the usual form. And Paolo into W7M, right? Yes, he did. I think I rate W7M higher than I rate Liquid right now. Not gonna lie. 2 lineup is the same as before. Hasn't changed. And Loud has the Rasa Academy roster. So we're gonna go G2. G2, when they played in Boston, they have changed their style completely. Uno is now IGLing. And you have Alema and Loira being much more aggressive and getting in the building, getting inter kills, getting map control. And it actually worked really well. And there are a lot of rounds where they get like 1 kill early, maybe 2 kills early. But then the mid to late round, when it comes to like adaptation and like picking apart the setup, that's when they would kind of troll their man advantage and just lose the rounds. From my memory, G2 would get opening kill very often, then blunder. If they can fix that small problem, which they've had months to do, I can see G2 being a top 4 team as well. If they don't fix that problem, then they're barely scraping it by to top 8. That's pretty much how I see it. But if they're fun to watch, probably one of the most fun teams right now in the current meta of the game. And G2 has a lot of history and legacy as well. So no matter how they play, it's always fun to root for them winning or hate on them for losing. It's always pretty. What else do we have? We have what? 2 more teams. Now it gets a bit more difficult. I might have a small soft spot for SSG. He got Newers instead of Forest. Newers, when he joined OXG and had his debut, he was absolutely insane. Kind of fell off later on. Forest was the gap finder for Space Station, playing flex roles and support. I'm curious who's gonna take that role, or if he's gonna not have that role any longer. BDS? No, BDS is a different team. BDS is Freck, Lasmo, P4, Robbie Virtue. I don't think they're making top 8 necessarily. I would rather take like W7M and SSG, I think. I think that's kind of what I'm sitting at right now. W7M, again, I give slight notch to Brazil because of the scrim culture. And they got Palu. Like, I think this can be very good. I think BDS is very young. Like, they came together, 1, recently, and 2, I think this is a lineup that needs like 6 to 8 months of working together before we're gonna see like a lot from them. I think Team BDS could easily be like a solo queue style team where they have great individual players, but they haven't gelled together as a team yet. If they've been super efficient in scrims and it just like clicked right off the bat, I could be super wrong. But I think there's a pretty high chance that they need 6 to 8 months in the cooker, and then they're gonna be a good team. Also because you're up against, most of these rosters have had like the 3-man core for a while. BDS is a nuke roster. Like it's a full new team. They all joined the same day. It was because the previous BDS, they dropped the roster or they left them. They joined Falcons. Then they picked this stack together. So I'm not entirely sure right now. And I don't have any trust in Liquid either. I don't. Loud, I think the Rasa company run in Boston at Invite was a bit of a, not a fluke, but I think they beat expectations like insanely much. And I don't think they're gonna make. It's kind of like the M80, not M80, Beast Coast run, like where you just like exceed expectations like insanely much for one tournament, and you're probably not gonna reach that level consistently again. I think Loud's a fine team, but I think they are like one of the weakest in Brazil from like the top 4 international teams. And then Wildcard is like they have a weird lineup. They have a French player, a Brazilian player, and 3 Americans. I don't even know if they can speak English. Like Baby Shark's English, as far as I know, not great, and Dash's English, as far as I know, also not great. So I don't know how, if they've had enough time to speak the same language. I don't know. C9 is Dream, Giddy, Kobe, Packer, Silent. So it's not the former Sonics players, no. Shopify Rebellion is the former Sonics people with Spoit and Canadian. So this is a different team. This is Dream plus friends is what I want to call it. And I don't rate Cloud9 very highly personally. I think it's probably one of the weakest. It's down there with like APAC for this event for my expectations. Fnatic is similar. It's the good old Daypack and Young Gunners. They got Groovy Yaksu as the newest player. Esports. So Group E, so like, you know, Secret got split up into all these different teams, and now Secret is Mowgli and Noah with Adrian, Jum, and Savage. So I think this, pretty happy. Very curious on Space Station's performance. I want to see how they're gonna fill Forrest's role, playing shields, playing gap finding, or if they're just gonna go to become like a more traditional team with like really great entraineurs, really great lurker in Benjamaster, who can also be a very good entry from his past, with a good backline and like Thoughts as support. I think that could work. So like lurk, entry, or double entry, hard support, and then J9O becomes the flex player. I know Ashen played some flex like Ying and stuff previously, but I just think the guy is way too inconsistent to be like a solid flex. And I think J9O is actually like a pretty, like, he's kind of like NGR. He's not underrated because people know he's good, but he falls under the radar for sure. I think NGR has been hard carrying DC for fucking ever. And the guy is a monster. When I say hard carry, it's not that they're winning anything, but like I think NGR is actually super under the radar kind of player. And I think J9O is kind of similar, but to a lesser extent on SSG. So I can see it work. I met NGR's father in Boston, and the guy was very kind, and we fell in conversation. It was hard to get out of the conversation because I had to go, but the guy was so nice, and I didn't want to like be like, sorry, I gotta go. It's like someone's father. And he was so proud of J9O. He was so proud of him. And he thinks he's gonna win every event. And he's the best player in the world. And he has all this potential. And it's like a father who like had full belief in his son, despite the fact that they kind of choked the event, you know? I love seeing like family support like that. Absolutely love it. I think right now, does that mean NA is bigger than EU? I have one European team in here. I have two European teams in here. I think it pretty much goes like this. I think it goes Brazil is greater than EU top is greater than NA is greater than EU is greater than APAC. When I say EU top, it's I think Falcons, former BDS, is like the best, one of the best teams in the world. Like top, like them and FaZe, just like Boston. One of the best teams, maybe the best team in the world. But the rest of Europe, I just feel like there's a pretty big gap. If BDS, fuck, it's so hard. If Falcons is the best team in the world, and then the next second European team is like Secret or G2 or whatever, it's a pretty big step. Whereas the rest of Europe on average might be worse than NA this season. I could see it. I could totally see it. So EU is very top heavy right now, and I think NA has at least, I think Shopify would make top 8 if Shopify was here on my list. I would kick out probably Space Station instead of Shopify, and I think that would have been like a very solid list. Without Shopify here, I do think the Space Station slot can be swapped around to other teams. I totally see a world where that exists. Like it could be Loud, it could be Shopify if they were here. It could be Liquid if we had seen them play with the roster. It could be Wildcard if we had seen them play with the roster. And the same argument goes to like BDS and Secret. BDS and Secret aren't like far off this list, but they've made roster changes. We haven't seen them play, and they've either made downgrades, arguably, unknown, definitely, or equal trades. And Virtus Pro also isn't here. Yeah, BDS and Falcons have changed. What happened is, BDS players, Shaiku, Ligifag, you know, those guys, they wanted a different org. More support, more money, whatever. I don't know. Team Falcons, the organization from MENA, kicked their entire roster to pick up the former BDS team. The exact roster, support staff, the players, the whole shebang. Twisted Minds then kicked their roster and picked up the former Falcons roster. So there was a triple org swap. BDS came Falcons. Falcons came Twisted Minds afterwards, and then Mix in Europe became BDS because they have again P4, Virtue, Robbie, Lasmo, and Frag. So a complete mixed team. So there's like a triple org situation there, and then Secret picked up 2 players. So a lot happened there, but that's pretty much it. That's my prediction though. Saving it. 1 team correct is 1 point, so we can actually unlock. If we get 7 out of 8 correct, we unlock the skin, and then we're balling. And then I'll probably update this when we get to the finals on social media, on like Twitter, etc. If you guys want to follow along.